So in the wake of Donald Trump's absolutely atrocious leadership, Maga is now pretending to be upset with it yet again. I get tired of this. I don't know why these even waste time posting stuff like this on Twitter. We can't believe Trump is doing this shit. Oh my god, who could believe this? Like, shut the fuck up, big ass. Like, nobody wants to hear this shit from y'all. It's like they pretend to be upset or outraged about something he does, and then like a week later, it's like, well, actually, here's the reason why. I've literally seen Alex Jones on Twitter justifying going to war with Mexico. The fat 1 inch away from a heart attack ass who's been on the internet ranting and raving for years about the Bilderbergs and Clinton and Obama and war and war and war and foreign war. Now all of a sudden he's pro foreign war in Mexico. He wants our own backyard to be America's playground battlefield. These people are just absolute animals. Okay, like conservative voters are fucking animals. They're dumb, they're stupid, they don't believe in anything. These people are, whenever they pretend like they're upset with Trump, don't even let a drip of sweat hit your brow. These people are fucking lying. They're on Twitter complaining. An individual by the name of Patriot Voice wastes data on the internet to post this shit. MAGA has been sold the world's biggest lie, and many sadly bought it hook, line, and sinker, myself included. It's just time to admit the most unfortunate truth. We got played. By the way, there is no voting our way out of this mess. Niggas warned you, and by niggas, I mean everybody. White women, white men, black women, especially black women and black men. A lot of folk that were blue tried to tell y'all. Y'all don't fucking listen. As I've said many times on this channel, can't nobody tell y'all niggas nothing. That's the problem with conservatives. In y'all's mind, you're never fucking wrong. And this is the reason why I've said before, it is basically at this point our civic duty to stop them from winning. Because they want all the power and none of the responsibility. It's kind of ironic how like all of these red pill stuff, like stuff that they say on the internet about women, like, oh, women want all the power and no responsibility. Very, very like, you know, it reminds me a lot of conservatives. You want all the power, you want Congress, you want the presidency, you want the Supreme Court, and then when it comes time to actually admit that your ideals are fucking bullshit, it's, well, actually, we got played by Trump. As if Trump is the be-all, end-all of conservative ideology. Well, at this point, he kind of is, but you think these niggas will give up if Trump could literally just die tomorrow. Just die. He could just die tomorrow, and I guarantee you they're gonna be back on bullshit the next day. Ain't shit about to stop. You already know this. America First Post, these are Nick Fuentes' goons on Twitter. The IRS has reversed its layoffs, calling back staff fired, pushed out, or retired early to fill staffing gaps and advance the one big bullshit bill. This marks a sharp reversal from Trump's earlier pledge to rein in the IRS when he blocked Biden's plan for 87,000 new hires, denouncing it as an army of auditors and promised deeper cuts. So, once Donald Trump actually realized he's supposed to be a statesman and that in order to carry out the job of a statesman, you must actually have a facilitated, well-run, well-facilitated, organized bureaucracy like the IRS, now all of a sudden he wants to recall them back. Looks like governing actually requires a functioning body of bureaucracies. Whoops, surprise. Next fucking post. This lady on Twitter, the Patriot Blonde, Patriots, I think it's safe to say we've been punked. But these fuck niggas, they're only saying this because Trump is hurting them. Trust and believe. When they saw random Hispanic folk getting kidnapped in the middle of the night and yeeted off to like fucking I don't know, what's that country on the fucking side of Latin America? Chile and shit. Nigga from Mexico, he just wake up in Chile. This is what Trump is. Trump literally said that he wanted to send Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Uganda. This is the type of shit we're dealing with, bro. This is like, these people, they don't pay attention. I told y'all this before. Donald Trump trying to take over this country illegally on January 6th and all the schemes leading up to it, the false elector scheme, you fucking name it, trying to have fucking Bill Barr issue out false claims of election fraud, all of that should have told you, don't let him back in office, because anybody who's read any political philosophy knows Trump has no choice but to be a dictator. a second when he gets into office a second time, because he crossed the Rubicon. If anybody were to defeat him or to defeat one of his successors, he would be open to going to prison. He cannot afford to lose. He can't afford for any of his successors to lose. Common sense would tell you that. The problem is this nation chose to believe Tucker Carlson when Tucker Carlson sat there and said January 6th was a quote-unquote guided tour. Fucking Joe Rogan, who just has one big blunt for a brain, literally sits there and just parrots these narratives about J6, and half the country, if not more than half, is just like, yeah, I don't know about J. I didn't tell you about J6. It culminates in this. Bro, Trump attempting to steal an election should have been the end. You can't trust him after that. And for his own ass, he has to become a dictator to protect himself from the consequences of his own actions. A simple read through a fucking introductory political philosophy book like fucking it's the book by The Prince by Machiavelli. If you read The Prince, you just know, even if you haven't read any, you just know, bro, Trump has no choice but to go all out now. He went too far. He went too far. Why do you think he's gearing up to never leave in 2028? He's not trying to leave, not just because he loves power, but because he's not safe if he leaves. My God. Now here we have Tim Dillon, his fat ass, pretending to give a shit about what Trump is doing. Now he's claiming that Trump is doing everything that, Alex Jones used to complain about and be scared about, and and let's watch this fuck shit.
All of these things that Alex Jones, and I've had Alex on, I like Alex, but all these things that Alex Jones was worried about when I listened to him in the late 90s, early 2000s are coming to fruition. And I don't know where he is on all of that stuff, but I know he's a big fan of Trump, but this is everything Alex Jones always talked. They've already got the cops on the street that are not cops or that are the military. They've already got the National Guard on the street. They already have all your information in D.C., and now they just get to decide what is and isn't over the line. That should scare everybody. You're fucking nuts, dude. If this doesn't scare you, you're nuts. All of these things that Alex Jones, and I've had Alex on, I like Alex, but all these things that Alex Jones was worried about when I listened to him in the late 90s, early 2000s are coming to fruition. And I don't know where he is on all of that stuff, but I know he's a big fan of Trump, but this is everything Alex Jones always talked about. Military in the street, the FEMA camp, the tech company that monitors everything, the surveillance. This is all of that. I mean, not to sound like a fucking nut. This is everything a crackhead. And I don't even mean a crackhead like crack, but a guy smoking weed in a room with a fucking black light and a fucking, insane clown posse tattoo on his arm. I'm thinking of a very specific guy I was friends with. But this is everything that guy would have talked about. He'd be like, bro, there's going to be military in the street. They're going to put you in jail for your fucking thoughts, man. If you just say them, bro, you're going to be in fucking jail. There's going to be a fucking company that monitors everything you do, bro.
Bro, these niggas are fucking retarded, bro. Conservatives are fucking, they're not even just dumb. They're just bro, these niggas, bro, they were warned. I've literally seen right-wingers posting Kamala's quote about how Trump would be uncontrollable with power once he got in. Some of them are just starting to outright post Kamala quotes now. You want to know the reality? Niggas told y'all from jump. And the fact that man could sit there on stage and say that we have concepts of a plan for healthcare and y'all still voted for him, burn in fucking hell, dog. Burn in fucking hell. Conservatives aren't mad about tyranny. They're mad about Democrat tyranny, liberal tyranny, black tyranny. They're not actually against tyranny on its face, for the sake of, just morality's sake. They don't like tyranny when it's coming from people they don't like. Not that they were even experiencing tyranny, but see, conservatives have this romanticization of them being these freedom fighters and these 1776 warriors against tyranny. But the true soldiers of tyranny, the true henchmen of evil, is the conservative party. They serve evil. They promote evil. They serve tyranny. They promote hatred. They promote the limiting of freedom. They promote the limiting of free speech. You can't even burn the flag in this country now without being arrested, according to Donald Trump. And you want to know something? Conservatives will twist themselves up into the most insane pretzel you've ever seen, just to justify Trump. This will be no different from any other era in human history. People who know better will not do better. People who know better will continue to sink further into the ever sinking quicksand just to never have to say, I was wrong. Just to avoid saying I was wrong. My most popular video is about me leaving the right. I can admit when I'm wrong. Admitting you're wrong is nothing. Admitting you're wrong is nothing in the grand scheme of life. It don't mean shit. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, you were wrong, whatever. Like, it's not that bad. Conservatives can't do it. They have to ride this shit until it explodes. Joe Rogan, the rest of these niggas, look at Dave Smith. Dave Smith is a prime example. Donald Trump bombs Iran. He says Donald Trump needs to be impeached. When he realizes MAGA has zero interest in actually impeaching Donald Trump, then he backs off and says, actually, Kamala would have been the worst option. They can't do it. They can't, even when the signs are so clear that it's time to jump off the ship, they can't bring themselves to do it. And honestly, I can't blame them. They don't have the IQ necessary to realize, I ain't gonna lie, this ship actually about to sink. I clearly knew at 21, learning about J6, I said, not only is this morally wrong, but I would be crazy to ignore the morality issue here and still ride this train. I'm gonna crash. I said, nah, we good on that. Morally speaking and strategically speaking, I ain't got no business being a part of this. See ya. Dave Smith, Joe Rogan, niggas who's too old to be doing this shit, they don't get it. In 20 years, they'll be sitting there saying, yeah, man, that just wasn't the guy we voted for. They'll never admit. They'll never admit. Because to admit means to actually reflect on the fact that they got finessed. It's easier to fool a man than to convince a man he has been fooled. Damn shame. If you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.